What's next? Oh yeah, good news, by the way. Africa has invented wheels. This water roller invention is sparing women living in Kenya's rural areas from lifting heavy water barrels over long distances. Yes, they have literally invented the woman-drawn water wheel. Or not even water wheel, because that makes it sound like a big, like, mill wheel. But no, like water roller, as I said. They have invented the wheel. Now, I think this is a bit older, this post. It's September 2019. But it came up recently. And I think I was just going to say, like, again, we come back to the issue of, in the future, in humanity's future, next few hundred years, at the most, I expect, we have to make a decision between three different choices. Three different choices. I am not advocating for any of these choices, because some of them are a bit gruesome. I'm not advocating for any of them, but I recognize that they are among the options that are possible. Option 1, babysitting. Any civilization that is less advanced and will not keep up with the rest of the world will have to be babysat for the rest of time. Because people won't be satisfied with them being destitute and suffering. They will have to be babysat. They will have to just become totally dependent and still probably useless in practical terms, but extant regardless. Option 2, upgrade. Either biologically or maybe in the future non-biologically, they have to become subject of upgrading. They have to become subject of outbreeding, of simply over time in a very natural way replacing with a group that is more effective. And again, I repeat, I'm not advocating for any of these strategies, and this bears a lot of resemblance to what some of the elites in the world are accused of doing, trying to remove whites. Now, that's a bit of a harsher prospect because whites are historically much more practically effective than other races. But that's what they're trying to do. So I don't like the tactic, but I recognize that it is one of the available options. And maybe preferable to option 3, deletion. Which, of course, I don't think is a nice idea in the slightest. It might be something that our civilization does at some point. But one of the three, or a mixture of the three, is going to have to happen. I don't like the fact that it will, but it is going to have to happen, and not just for Africans, but for others as well. And I suspect it is about as simple as, we tried for ages to get them to just innovate in simple ways so that they wouldn't have to, like, literally carry water on their heads. Just, like, build a cart. But, if we told them to build a cart, they wouldn't know how to do it, or they wouldn't understand. They wouldn't be able to sort of build their way up gradually to the point of understanding how and why they were building the cart. So it would only happen once. It's like giving a man a fish. You give them the knowledge of how to build a cart and why to build a cart. It's almost as bad as giving them the cart in terms of their level of dependence and lack of self-innovation. So we try to encourage them. We try to make suggestions. We try to, all this stuff. I can imagine some sort of charity worker or maybe even on the realm of an entire group speaking like this, or metaphorically at least. That we try to, like, 'cause I've been thinking, how does it happen? Okay, so we have another one. Another spammer. 1 second. All right, there we go. Luckily, I don't know why he doesn't realize this, but messages from non-approved members don't appear on the live stream. So I don't know why he thought it did. Anyway, yeah. So if there are any mods watching, please keep an eye on the live chat. And if there are any monitors watching, could you maybe ping the mods in vigilance? And I see Bright is here. But yeah, if any new accounts appear and do that kind of thing, what I did is ban and delete message history. It is also very quick. Yeah, where was I? I imagine some sort of group, nation, charity, whatever else would be talking like that. Would be thinking, we tried everything to try to sort of get them to figure this out for themselves. But then, of course, they didn't. And what we had to do instead was give them a welded, metal, painted wheel with axles. This is not made by Africans, unless it's made by Africans according to Western designs. it's not an African product, although it probably was made by Africans. The intellectual property was not, I expect. So, again, I don't like that that's the case. And it's not all Africans, obviously, but a portion of them. And not just Africans either, but a portion of them. So, yeah, it's not nice. It's unfortunate. And I would like to be told I'm wrong on that. Anyway, what was this? This is something linked. Ah, yes, more proof, more evidence to the assertion. This is 3 pictures of black men. I don't know if it's in Africa, but of black men regardless, carrying wheelbarrows whilst also carrying something that they could push along in those wheelbarrows. So maybe there's some sort of reason for this. But they're all on flat surfaces. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to make the case. Maybe you could find just as many pictures of white people doing the same thing, of other cultures doing the same thing. I feel like it's probably not as common, though, in the West, and it would be easier to find pictures in the West because there's more cameras in the West. But still, like, yeah, I think this maybe speaks to the point, and there's obviously a lot more discussion to be done on that matter before any action is taken, for certain.